Good afternoon. It's on now. Well, first of all, thank you for prayers. I'm now okay. So why don't we greet each other? You haven't done for the past 4 weeks. Just give them big hug. God loves you. God bless you. Yeah. Give them this big hug and bless them. Bless them because God loves you. Even in the room, little ones, moms, God bless you. So we're now back to 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Notice verse 1. Paul says, "Therefore, since God in His mercy has given us this new way, we never give up." What is he talking about? There is a young man who just asked a question to God. He wanted to ask a question God to God, and one day he asked, "God, in your perspective, how many million years?" And God said, "Oh, okay, in my perspective, million years, a second." And he said, "Oh, wow. Then God, again, in your perspective, how much is $1 million?" God said, "In my perspective, it's a penny." Wow. And he said, "Can I borrow a penny?" And God said, "Wait a second." So do you want to live in God's perspective or in your own perspective? Because God says clearly in the Bible, "My ways is higher than your ways. And my thought is totally different from your thought." So we may not understand the will of God. See, Paul is talking about the ministry God has given him. He said, "I never give up." Why? He lives in God's perspective. As we all know the book of Acts, Paul met Jesus Christ personally. Do you remember where? On the road to Damascus. On the way to Damascus, all of a sudden there was a brilliant, magnificent light upon him. But he was with several people, but only Paul saw the light. And only Paul heard the voice of God. At that time, his name was Saul, right? "Why have you persecuted me?" Jesus said. And then after he met, until that moment, Paul was living in his own perspective. That's why he went to Damascus. Why? He heard that there is a church. So he was on the way to destroy the church and kill all the Christians. But Jesus stopped him. So after Paul met Jesus, he was totally changed.